seasoning this food so that, yeah, okay. So that's what we're shooting for right now. So people will associate, uh, and that's our mission, not to, as though we was thinking some months ago, we'll go all over the area from Baltimore to here and there. We'll still go there, but we'll go there with food. Whenever they're having a program, we'll scope it out and see where it is and see if it's if they're having it at a university, if they're having it at a certain, can we serve the people food there, right? So if we have to buy it, it's fine. But we have so much coming our way that we should use it for a good benefit, lower our bucket right now, and not just sit it there till it get all ate up by the little bitty fellows running around, right? I'm just saying, that's a gift from Allah. We just use it whatever's needed, we'll fill it in. All the side dishes, we'll fill those in. In other words, then when we show up in need, the people will say, yeah, that's they need, because we see what they do. It ain't no, now other people will wonder, they always bringing in, or attempting to, and they don't realize that eventually things dry up. People start looking at them differently, stuff like that. Well, they'll be seeing when they give to us, they'll know that a part of that is going to the meals you've been eating with no cost, no nothing, So it's getting better, this idea of service. This is not a new idea. We've been into this all the time. But exactly how to do it at a certain time, this is the time for big time service and implementation and improvement. We may start wearing aprons and stuff like that. Yeah, why not? There's no sense getting your throw ball messed up. We'll start with gloves this Friday. We'll clean up our place down there even more, where the food is stored and the other. You bleach everything for a while. That's one thing the white man taught me about bleach. Bleach. He said bleach. This was about 60 years ago. I never told y'all the story, but when I went to Duell Vocational Institution, they had everything there from aeronautics. You could study airplane mechanics and everything. This is actually an institution, and they judged you by what your education was, or they placed you at classification. So when I went in there, I was, I think my grade point average was something. For a guy in the pen, it was very high. It was 11.5. It was like high school, like I had already graduated with honors from high school because I did enough time in jail, and I liked studying and reading. So they asked me, where would you like to be placed? This is the white folks. And now my partner had told me, man, get in janitorial. We all die. So when I went there, I told him, because he said you could get aeronautical engineering. I said, well, I'll go down to janitorial. It was a good decision, but it didn't make sense because not that all my friends was there, and I think you needed a fifth grade education to. I'm not saying my homeboys was not brilliant or nothing, and I had one of my workout partners couldn't read. In the old days, people couldn't read and write. Negroes, and that was people that I knew that couldn't read. They couldn't read, you know.
It's not funny, but during Ramadan, I talked to a brother who's been locked up,
Uh,
and he said that was him.
uh,
He said, and this is like recently.
uh,
He said that was him. He said, he took Shahada,
uh,
he was trying to learn certain things. He was like, I couldn't read.
uh,
And just talking to him, he said, a lot of these brothers that come out here,
uh.
so that's not surprising.
No, it's not surprised, but in those days it was. You got to remember that was that was '63. So '63, it was altogether different than now. I mean, it was the ones that had a fifth grade education were really on the move. They was now when they give you their little test, and it just so happens that I read all the time because I went to the hole all the time. So I always had books, and if they had you in the hole where they didn't want you to get books, you would steal the books, and that means you really want to, imagine you're snatching books and putting them in your thing and taking them to your room. That means that they're telling you we don't want you to do it, and you got a mind, whatever they tell me not to do, I want to do it. So they're the ones that's responsible for me loving to read. I mean, I just liked it, because they said don't do it. So I, hard, Anyway, the point was, uh, that's where I learned janitorial. So I actually got a certificate in janitorial. But now, if you took it to another level, if you were one of those black people, one of the richest black people I knew had a janitorial service. And he hired people, and they went and that's when they was giving Negroes these big contracts out in California. So if you had a janitorial service, you was on a roll. That is one of our first steps up, the janitorial service, because we always did that work. And then we looked at it and we said, we can manage this. Anyway, acres of diamonds and using, lower your bucket. What I'm talking about is what we have. One of the other things that go with this is that still mostly black people live in our region, and they have people do the work by Latino brothers. We're not against them. They got to get up too. But if we had teams of people who were trained to do, everything from roofs to sheetrock and all of that, on the job training and reading the book, you know what I mean? The only one really need to know it is the leader, the one that's leading the team. We get teams of few brothers. It's been in our mind for years, but it's coming to a lot more clear now. Imagine if we pass out flyers to all the churches in D.C. The churches in D.C. are full of who? Black people, and they don't live in D.C. anymore. They live out there. Suppose they come in and they see on their car, everybody sink is, messed up, everybody, oh, a little drop of water. Now, the standard Negro would charge him $100,000 and tear the whole roof off. But if we could see it's just we would do it. Just a little patch up, a little stuff on it, that'll stop it. Okay, integrity and home improvement. Yeah, that would be, that's one of our projects. Integrity and home improvement. Food service, and we'll start like that. And we have to be successful because we're doing things that are right here. It's simple to do. It's good, and it would be for a reasonable price. Imagine the older people that, if an old person called one of the, well, if it's two Negroes working, you can imagine what they're going to charge them, and other Negroes. Suppose they get some people, it'll cost you $100 in material and a couple of days work, and you charge the people a reasonable thing. Actually, half of what they got a scale for charge. Suppose we charge the people half of the scale. The scale is ridiculous. So suppose you charge the people and you do good work and you guarantee the work, right? Because our number will be on everything they pass out, our number. If you're not satisfied with the work, give us a call. They ring us up. We say, go back out there and fix it. For nothing, right? We'll have all the business, and we'll be able to take the young knucklehead Negroes, we teach them Al-Fatiha and put them to work. They might stay out of penitentiary. And we keep our homes so they don't steal everything in the people's houses. You know what I mean? We'll watch them instead of the work. I'm just joking. But you have to. You know who you got. You know who you got. You can't just look. Or you guarantee the people. If the people say this, I tell you the truth. I had $500 in my little thing in there, and now it's gone. Well, we'll do the work free. Thank you very much. Tell the niggas, okay, let's go. Man, we ain't getting paid for that. No. So one of y'all got paid. Just ask one of the niggas that got the ladies $500. And you have to think about it. The people that are living in D.C. are senior citizens types, and the people on the periphery going out are senior citizens. Because all the people that are right out in this area, they moving toward, it's a few youngish type people, but they're in their 50s, all out that way, PG County, the 13th, whatever they call it, the 13th, District 12 or something. That's what they call it, yeah. Anyway, service. That's why when Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was asked, do you want to be a king prophet or a servant prophet? He said, a servant. Right? And that's why we're talking about service. Okay, believe it or not, we'll just mention a few things. Like this is a service, this is taskiya, a service. In other words, that type of work It'll purify you. It's purification. Let the Negroes have the stage. They want the stage. They want the Allahu Akbar, the takbirs. Let them have them. Let them have them. That means we have to cleanse our niyyah too, and say we might have had 20% of the stage, and us, you know what I mean, where yeah, we want to do this, but we want to have 10% stage. We want to, the people that no. We have to. It's called purification. Purifications of nafs. That's what it is. Service, 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 not the spotlight. And if you think about it,